And now that I have the gradients for my bias value and my weight value, I need to actually update my bias value and the weight. So I'm going to say self dot w plus equals to self dot learning rate times the uh, gradient for my weight. And similarly, I need to do the same thing for my bias value. And then I can return my loss at the end. So now what I can do is I can actually print these values. So I'm going to copy this. And so what this is going to do is it is actually going to print the number, the epoch number, and then I'm going to print the current weight value. That is this one. And at the end, I'm going to print the current loss that I got from these inputs and outputs. Okay, so with this, the model is ready. And if I run this, yeah. And now I can actually initialize my model. So I'm going to say model is equals to model. And now I can train my model. So I'm going to say model dot train. And inside there, I'm going to pass the inputs and the outputs. Self dot this needs to be self dot predict, because we are actually like calculating the value using our predict method. So we need to find the predicted output for my model. And this needs to be self dot bias, because we are actually using them inside a class. What the fuck? It's not calling. Yeah, so over here, I forgot to multiply these two values, sorry. So as you can see, our model actually learned these values. But this model is not performing that well, because I actually used the gradient, gradient descent instead of the stochastic gradient descent. So the gradient descent, what it does is it actually looks for the local minima, not the global minima. So so if we look at the graph, or the how good the prediction is. So to do that, I'm going to draw a graph. And as you can see, this is not a very good model, but we are not actually trying to improve the, we are not actually trying to create a very good model. This was just to show you how we can build a model using simple Python. And now let's build a, by the way, over here, what I'm doing is I'm first creating a scatter plot for my inputs and outputs. And then I'm going to actually creating a scatter plot for my inputs and my predicted outputs. So let's now build a model using TensorFlow. So I'm going to just copy this entire model, and over here we need to make a few changes. For example, the object is going to be tf.module. So a module is basically a way to create a layer. So you can say I am actually creating like a dense layer over here. So it's similar to dense layer. This is how like all the layers that you use in Keras, they are built using this module called tf.module. And over here, what we need to do is we need to actually convert it into a TensorFlow variable. But in case of learning rate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set it to trainable is equals to false, because I do not want to train these values. So other than that, we actually need to initialize our tf.module. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say super dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and this takes another variable called name. So for example, if I wanted to name my layer, what I can do is I can just say name, and whatever I like, whatever the name that I want to initialize this layer with, I can just pass that name through to my tf.module. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to convert these into TensorFlow functions instead of using the NumPy function. So I'm going to say tf.reduce mean, and reduce mean basically what it does is it actually takes the mean of all the values inside a single matrix and reduces them into a single value. So over here, I'm going to say tf.square instead of numpy.square. And next, we need to remove this part over here. So instead of passing single values, we are actually going to pass all the values at the same time. So, the reason is because we are actually going to use something called the gradient tape, which actually calculates the gradient over the number of operations performed. So we are actually going to pass all the inputs and the outputs at the same time. So so this is one of the functionalities of TensorFlow that makes the calculations much easier as compared to using simple Python. Okay, so also since our weights are in form of tensors, we need to actually convert them into NumPy, just so that we can print them using the print function. And over here, I'm going to replace all this with the gradient tape. So I'm going to say with tf.gradient tape as t. And so what gradient tape will do is it will actually calculate the gradient of all these values that I'm passing over here, and then later on return the gradient like once I pass like once I calculate the loss or calculate all the stuff inside this gradient tape, it will actually record all the functions that I have performed. And then looking at those operations, what it will do is it will actually calculate the gradient. So so it's kind of like calculating the stochastic gradient instead of simple gradient descent. So what I'm going to do is once I have recorded all these operations, I actually need to like calculate my gradient. So I'm going to say dw dot comma db is equals to so my gradient tape is stored in the variable name t. So I'm going to say t dot gradient and inside there I'm going to pass the loss and the values for which I want to calculate my gradient. So those are self dot weight comma the self dot bias. And that's it. These are all the like yeah, sorry, we cannot actually we cannot have a default variable at the starting of our like parameters. So we actually need to have the default variables at the end inside Python. So, okay, so that's it for the model. And now if I try to run this, so I'm going to, so now I need to pass the name of my layer. So I'm going to say layer one. And now I can just train my model. So I'm going to say model.train. And inside there, I need to pass the inputs and the outputs. Okay, so what this error means is basically that I am performing this plus operation, but we cannot do that inside TensorFlow. So instead, what we need to do is we actually need to use the TensorFlow's operator available for this. So I'm going to say self.w.assign. And similarly, I need to change this to subtraction. So, and the reason that I'm using subtraction instead of addition is that actually there are two ways to calculate the gradient. And what gradient tape does is it calculates the gradient from in a different way from what I did in my previous model. So that's why I actually need to subtract it instead of actually adding those values. Because over there, I already included the subtraction sign when I differentiated my loss with respect to the y value. So if I run this now, it should run. Yeah. So this model is working much better than the previous one. For example, in the previous one, we had the weight value at 4.1 and the bias value at 2.2. But these values are much more closer. For example, the weight value is 3.3 and the bias value is 1.6. So if I try to print the graph, so if I run this, you can see that it is a much better fit as compared to the model that I built using simple gradient descent. So, so this is how you build a model inside TensorFlow, but suppose that we were actually using the Keras API. So this could be done in about 3 to 4 lines. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. So I'm going to say model is equals to tf.keras dot sequential. And inside there, I can create my layer. Since my layer only has a single neuron, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say tf.keras dot layers dot dense. And since I only have a single neuron, I can pass 1 in there. And now I need to compile my model. And inside the compile, I need to pass a few parameters, the first one being the optimizer. So my optimizer is going to be SGD, because we saw that in this model, since we used the stochastic gradient descent, and it gave us a pretty good result. So I'm going to use the SGD or the stochastic gradient descent optimizer, and then I need to pass my loss. So my loss is going to be the mean square loss. And now I can just train my model like I did in the previous example. So I can say model dot fit. Instead of train, I actually need to fit because it is already defined in the Keras API. So fit method actually trains your model. So I'm going to pass the inputs and the outputs. And this is how you can build the same model that you built using the TensorFlow API inside the Keras API in about 3 to 4 lines. But the main difference between building this inside Python and inside TensorFlow is that you actually have these variables, and this will actually be built using a TensorFlow graph. So you can actually store these values and then later use them on any other platform, as compared to when you're using it in or you are building it using Python. You would actually need to have Python installed on that system in which you want to actually use this machine learning model.